Good evening.
Hello, right, hang on.
Welcome back.
Hello, folks.
We've had a nice holiday, Bobs.
Yeah, and I'm about to disappear, so...
He is.
There we go.
I did have a bit of a nightmare. It's supposed to be a relaxing week. The tumble dryer packed up, the washing machine went blippy, and the plug in the sink in the bathroom decided to throw a wobbly as well.
Oh, this is it. They all knew. Hey, he's
They all knew
off
I
for a
wasn't doing
week.
anything.
Exactly.
Thank you, Paul Sarti. It's good to be back. It's nice to have a rest, but it's good to come back. And thank you for everyone that watched all the wonderful bits I put up. We are so things. So, yeah, Rocky's been all right. He's back on his ear rolls. There's the second bit of it. Yeah.
Oh, he's getting it in bits now, is he?
Yeah. Well, it fell apart.
Oh God, that's disgusting.
Yes, it is. It's my fingers all smell. I might have to go and wash them in a minute.
While I see somebody in chat, Zeb, we need to know the year of your birthday and the country.
You were burning. So we can put it on our list for birthdays for next year. So there we are.
Yes, because we know what day it is, we know what month it is, we don't know what year it is. And if we can, we'll do your...
Oh, there it is.
81 Norway. Thank you.
Right. Wonderful stuff. That'll give us something to... That'll give Dave some homework to find out the top 10 in 1981 in Norway.
Anyway. Hey, that's going to be easy. The problem is going to be you pronouncing it.
Oh, God, yeah. My pronunciations are not brilliant, are they? So, yeah, anyway, also last week, everything went wrong. It was peaceful, but my mouse packed up as well. StreamYard wasn't working properly. But,
if anything could go wrong, it did.
Yeah, but it was relaxing. It was strange last Thursday night. I was watching telly instead of doing this, but there we go. Anyway, well, since I've been away, things have been going mental on the channel. This week alone, we've had 15,393 views.
What? You weren't doing nothing. You weren't doing anything.
I know. 41 new subscribers. Madness. So what have you been watching? Well, coming straight in at number 3 for Monday, Bob Dylan's 1960s ranking, 165. At number 2, also from Monday, the Battle Royale 2 launch. Now, there's 165 people watched it, so I'm sure that we're going to have lots of entries in, and we'll ask you.
All right. I hope so.
I'm not brand new. I'm just the old me, I'm afraid. Yeah, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, it'll tell you where you need to put your things. We're not taking your nominees on here because we don't want to miss them.
Yeah.
So don't put your nominees in. Go to the actual launch video and put them in the button, and then Dave and I will acknowledge them there. Anyway, so what's the most watched one? And I can't believe it. A Perfect Side, Are You Experienced? Jimi Hendrix Experience, 351. Now, the biggest short is one of the ones I put up. I was there. This was Wembley Stadium, 3rd of July, 1987. 6, I don't know, long time ago. And it's the one that I didn't think people would go for, Domino.
No, as far as I'm concerned, it's one of the best songs they ever did.
Yes, I will be doing it, Zeb. Don't worry. Yeah, the next album from Necktie, yes, definitely. Dave will make a note of that. So in the last 28 days, which will include the week I had off. 31,972 views, unbelievable, and another 101 subscribers. Number 3 of What's Watch is the album ranking of Portishead. For a video ranking of 3 albums, 294 is not bad at all. Still hanging around is Bad ELP. Yeah, I can hear you, Rocky. Bad ELP at 388. But again, at the top, Jimi Hendrix Experience, IU Experience, 1,638 views. Pop Short again. I was there in the crowd. I'll tell you where I was. You know where there's that little tenty thing in the middle? I was just in front of that. So when you watch it, that's where I was standing. But this is the grand total. How many people have watched that short on Domino? 4,005 people. Unbelievable. For a little short that I got off the thing and made a nice little presentation of it. The big numbers that everyone likes. We now had a massive 452,866 people, and now since we last did this, we had 2,009 on that last live stream. We've now gone up to 2,069 since in 2 Thursdays. That's incredible. So thank you very much for everyone that's freshly subscribed. Not much change in the top 4. Derek Riggs is still at 4,174. Jethro Tull at 416 on 4,190. Slade has now gone through the 5,000 reviews. Incredible. And Status Quo is 9,289. And the Jean-Michel Jarre in your living room. Still going up, and it's now stands at 15,262. So there we go. So what are we listening to? For a start, we finished listening to Ian Hunter Mountain, Five Finger Death Punch, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. When I'd listened to IU Experience, I listened to the second album, so I listened to the third one. So that's complete for a ranking, which will be coming up at some stage. And Argent. So we've got new ones in the bag. Good afternoon, Art. How are you? Good
afternoon.
So we got 4 new ones. We've got Tom Waits, the man with the smoky voice, 3 of 17. The band Mungo Jerry, 3 of 19. Swans, Zeb, you're giving me headaches. I've listened to 2 of them, and Air Supply 1. Yes, I am going to be quite honest. I am struggling with the Swans at the moment. I'm sure I'll get into them eventually. That's all right, Zeb. I like being sent down rabbit holes, and if there was an award for the person that sends me down more rabbit holes, it would go to you, Zeb.
Yes. Without a doubt.
Yes, you're coming up with some obscure stuff, so that's what it's all about. So I'm now going to hand you over for Hatches and Matches and Dispatches, because I think someone's heading towards the door.
Yeah, he's been announcing his intention for the last couple of minutes.
Yes, he is. So I'm going to do that. I will see you in a minute.
Okie dokie. So those who have left us since our last live stream, we've got 26 plus 1, and the plus 1 is rather obvious. So anyway, 27th of last month, Makaya Nshoko, a South African jazz drummer, passed away. The 30th, Fat Man Scoop, an American rapper, he decided to check out. The 31st, Jessica Bangeni, a South African gospel singer, and Phil Swern, he's an English radio producer. You might not recognise the name, but you recognise the programmes he worked on, Sounds of the 60s and Pick of the Pops. September, on the 1st, Mike Beard, or Billard, a Canadian jazz drummer with the Jeff Johnson Trio, passed away, as did Teresa Bright, an American hapa haole guitarist and ukulele player. The second, James Darren, remember him? American pop singer, he passed away. Peter Kubik, an Austrian black metal guitarist with Abigor, his death was announced. And the death was also announced of Pat Lewis, an American soul singer. The third, Goran Fristorp, Swedish Schlager singer-songwriter, group Malta, passed away. And on the fourth, we had a couple, Oswald D'Andrea, French classical pianist and film composer, and Bora Dorjevic, a Serbian hard rock singer-songwriter with the band Ribija Korba. The fifth, oh dear, what a day. Roy Cape, a Trinidadian calypso saxophonist, his death was announced. Martin France, a British jazz drummer, passed away. Dequante Devonte Lamar, he's known professionally as Rich Homie Quan, American rapper. He passed away, but the two big names, Sergio Mendes, Brazilian bossa nova pianist and composer. And you have heard his music if you ever watched the Austin Power movie. It's his samba music that's playing. And of course, the late, the great Herbie Flowers, English rock bassist, Blue Mink, T-Rex, Sky, and a host of other musicians. The list is far too long to even think about going through here. The sixth, Mark Moffat, an Australian pop guitarist and record producer. He was in the group The Monitors. Screaming Scott Simon, American rock and roll pianist and singer, in the group Sha-Na-Na. And Will Jennings, American pop lyricist. Might not have heard him, but you heard an awful lot of stuff that he wrote, because he wrote for a variety of artists like Steve Winwood, Whitney Houston, Eric Clapton, B.B. King, Joe Sample, Rodney Crowell, Mariah Carey, Jimmy Buffett, Barry Manilow, Roy Orbison. I mean, once again, somebody else with a massive catalogue of hits. The seventh, Jimmy Gilmer, American rock and roll singer with the Fireballs, and Dan Morgenstern, a German-born American music journalist and archivist, both passed. The eighth saw the departure of Zoot Money, English blues rock singer and keyboardist. He played with Eric Burdon and the Animals and in Zoot Money's Big Roll Band. Also on the 8th, Ben Thapar. He's an English operatic pop singer with the group G4. He passed away. And on the 10th, Frankie Beverly, an American R&B and funk singer-songwriter with the group Maze, and Doug Hood, a New Zealand record producer. They both passed. But the biggest name of the lot, and his voice will sadly be missed on the 9th, the wonderful James Earl Jones. So we pay homage and give a nod to He's Not I Am Your Father. Birthdays. We've got 20 today, believe it or not, and that's having cut some out, trimmed it down a bit. So at 40, the youngest today, one is Carly Smithson. She's an Irish singer with the group Ultimate High. 46, Michael Paget, a Welsh guitarist in the group Bullet for My Valentine. 47 today is 2 Chainz. He's born Tawheed X, he's an American rapper. 48 is Busy Bone. He's born Brian Anthony McCain. He's an American rapper and he's in a group called Bone Thugs and Harmony. 50 today is Jennifer Nettles, an American country singer best known for Sugarland. 54 today is Nathan Larson, American guitarist composer. He's been in bands Shudder to Think and Hot One, but he's also married to the lead singer of the Cardigans. 56 today, Larry Lalonde, an American guitarist. He's played with Primus and, funnily enough, Ian and I were talking about him today, Tom Waits. 58 today is Ben Folds, an American singer and songwriter with the Ben Fold 5. 59, John Norwood Fisher, he's American ska funk bassist with the group Fishbone. 63 today is Mylene Jean Gauthier, known professionally as Mylene Farmer. She's a Canadian-French singer-songwriter. 67 today is Kadim Al-Sahir. He's an Iraqi singer-songwriter, and he's best known for the song Ana wa Laila. In other words, me and Laila. Also 67 today, and this gentleman is going to be the subject of a ranking at some stage. Hans Zimmer, the German Grammy Academy Award-winning film score composer. He's done The Lion King, June 2021, Inception, Kung Fu Panda. You've got a lot to go through, Ian.
I know.
68 today is Barry Andrews, British rock musician with XTC, League of Gentlemen, and Shrikeback.
Yes.
72 is Jerry Beckley, American rock vocalist, guitarist, and songwriter. Do you remember him? He's the founder of America.
God.
With no name.
Dude.
75 today is Tony Stevens, English rocker with Fog Hat and Savoy Brown. 80 today is Colin Young. He's a Barbadian British singer. He was with the group The Foundations. Remember them?
God, yeah.
Yeah, they sang Build Me Up Buttercup.
Build me up.
Buttercup.
Yeah. Stop that before they'll take us down.
Yeah. All right, in that case, I defy you to sing this one. Maria Muldaur, American folk blues pop singer, famous for Midnight at the Oasis.
No, I won't attempt that.
85 today is Philip Ramey, American composer. 90 is Edvard Wistenberg, a Dutch concert harpist and teacher. And we have another centenarian.
Hey!
101 today is Julie Mandel, American pop and theatre songwriter and classical composer. So happy birthday to all those. Marriages, matches, and dismatches. 2 + 1. In 1840, German pianist and composer Robert Schumann. He married the German pianist and composer Clara Wieck. They stayed married until he died 16 years later in 1856. So we jump along to 2009. Platinum-selling rock band Three Doors Down, the lead singer Brad Arnold married horseback rider Jennifer Sanderford in Escatawpa, Mississippi. And the dispatch in 1967, American actress and singer Rosemary Clooney, age 39, divorced Puerto Rican actor Jose Ferrer, 54, for the second time after she found out about his affair with Stella McGee. Again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's your hatches, matches, and dispatches. Our talking point. Oh, this is going to be so much fun.
It's our homework.
Yes, homework. We've all been down a rabbit hole. Your homework for the for the next, what are we, 11 days, is to work out what's the greatest single of all time and put an entry in. That's your homework. For the rest of us, it's close this tab and keep my notes about my homework.
If I put that one up, that makes it a lot easier.
Oh, yes, it does. Okay. And we put you full screen. Off you go.
Okay, so next week, well, it doesn't seem like I've been away, but we're carrying on. Your dog out the homework. I've heard that one before. Yeah, so next week, so Monday, what we're going to do? Well, we're going to continue with a little bit of Bob Dylan. And we're going to look at these 70s albums, which...
Oh, hang on. Now, while you say that, that reminds me, we had a comment this week on the first Bob Dylan one. You reckon that Bob Dylan's million-selling albums are obscure?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Wally of the Week, no.
Yeah, no.
It's not just obscure stuff that Iain ranks. Anyway, continue.
Okay, so a perfect side. Now, this is a request. Now, I can't remember if it's Mick or Pulsar because they come up with some great ones. Well, we're going to do some surrealistic Pillow from Jefferson Airplane. And I've really enjoyed listening to that last week. It was a great album to listen to, and it was a chill out.
It was Pulsar.
It was Pulsar, right, there we go. So, Tuesday, what have we got Tuesday? Well, we've got a band called Chad Allen and the Expressions. But we probably know them better off as the Guess Who. Now, this is the band they were before the Guess Who, and they made 2 albums under Chad Allen and the Expressions. So that's why I sort of separated them. So let's have a concentrate on their early ones. So that's the Tuesday one. Retro ranking is the flavour of the month on the channel. But so, and guess what? Part 6 is not even in my top 10.
I'm not surprised. I'm
going to go through my favourite Jean-Michel Jarre songs, pieces, whatever you want to call them. Marathon next week. I think Nick will like this one. And I think Mike might do as well. Because we're going to do Half Man, Half Biscuit.
I will have
great songs here. Talk about let's take the Mickey out of the establishment. I had so much fun listening to these again. Absolutely hilarious band and very good musicians at the same time. Okay, that'll take us on till Thursday, and I think this may be the penultimate. It is the penultimate sophomore drome for a little while. Another request. We've got the Doors against Jimi Hendrix Experience. 2 cracking albums. And next week we're going to take a wander down the sidewalk and we're going to look at the top 10 singles in America on the 19th of December in 1964. So that takes us till through Friday. We've got a busy old day on Friday. We're going to do some live albums and we're going to do a bit of jazz. We're going to have a bit of a jazz day. Nice. We're going to listen to, we're going to be doing Charlie Watts live albums, and they're all jazz, and they are absolutely brilliant. We got 2 great new albums, one from a band that I absolutely love, and it's a long time since they've done anything. It's the Choir Boys and their new album called Wardour Street, paying homage to the Marquee Club when they started their days. And also, next week, we've got the new Nick Lowe album coming out, Indoor Safari. It's a long time since we've had that. After the montage, Lampshade. Oh, God. Your jokes get worse. Anyway, that's what's on next week. I hope there's something there for everyone. I'm sure there is. But Half Man, Half Biscuit, getting the thumbs up from Nick. I thought it would. So that's what's coming. So I'm going to remove that. And now Dave's going to tell you about the last sophomore.
Right. I'm just wondering should I show? Yes, I think I will. I will. I'll show so people can see pretty colours. So
there's good stuff coming up. Yeah, of course there is.
Good.
Quality programming on this channel.
Here we go. So as you can see, all pretty colours, greens and reds and pinks and yellows. Right, the greens are the ones that Iain picked and Iain won. So Iain won, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Iain won the first 8. Nobody disagreed with him. But then you disagreed on the next 3, Black Sabbath, The Damned, and U2. But as you can see, the last one. 10 votes to 9 in favour of Hawkwind on the live stream, but 12 to 11 for the community. It's a bloody dead heat, 21 votes each, so it's 8.5, 3.5. And so far, I haven't looked since we started Dream Theatre were leading 3-1, and that's Ian's pick. So if Iain wins, it's going to go to 9.5, 3.5. Anyway, that's that. We do have a little picture for. I'm going to share this. Bob. As we told you in the launch video, we're going back to this straw poll, the website, so you can pick what is the greatest single of all time. And as you can see, choice, you can pick one of 4. So we've got a band, we got to number 1 in 1967, or you've got a singer, he got to number 19 in 1993, another band who got to number 79 in 2011, or a duo who got to number 4 in 1974. That's just an idea, it's a giggle. It's not the actual vote, but it will be pick 1, and the 2 with the most votes will progress. Now, I need to go back to this tab to show you this. As we go through Group A, the entries will go in here. The 2 with the most votes will go in here. And it'll happen for groups B, C, D, E, F, and G, and H. There's 8 groups, so we'll end up with 16 for round 2.
Which will be drawn by one of our fabulous panelists who come up every week.
Exactly.
No expense spared here.
No, of course not. Of course not. So that's what we're going to have. And as you can see, it'll break down, and we'll have another draw for the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and then the grand final, for which, at great expense, there will be a trophy this year. So I can switch, because we need to pick a couple of years for next month's. I mean, we're so far ahead, we've actually started doing the schedule for November.
We're super efficient, you know.
Yes, but we need to pick 2 of the. We need to pick one for a wander down the sidewalk and a trip down memory lane. So 2 years to pick.
Can we know which one we're doing first? Because
I can tell you that it is. Scrolling. It's all the way up there. We're doing a wander down the sidewalk, which is US Top 10, the 17th of October.
Righty-ho. Spin away.
And we have to avoid.
Oh, that's all right.
1973. Oh, well done. Yes, we have avoided.
We've got some birthdays that day as well.
Yes, so bear with me why.
So the UK.
So the UK will be a fortnight later on the 31st of October.
Halloween. It's Halloween. Nearly my year.
67.
1 year later.
Well.
I would have been 1 and a bit.
For 1967, that's in there, that's there, and we don't need.
Right. A great year for music. Yeah, some great. I'm looking forward to them. There's 2 really good top 10s there.
So I can stop sharing that, and I can close that, and I can close that. And I can
right, let's get the thing up, because we've got lots of homework to talk about tonight. I think that's the right one.
I don't know. Well, there's something there. Do you want it added to stage?
No, that's my presentation. I'm not. I'm just.
Oh, right.
It's there for when I do it.
Ah.
That's what, while you was waffling on, that's what I was doing.
Oh, thank you for the waffle. Yeah.
I can't do 2,000 things. So,
no, oh, Jason, no, please don't. Please don't. No. No, not that one.
Meaning.
Yeah, but there's two versions. He's suggesting the second one.
Oh God, the first one's not much better.
The first one's an awful lot better than the second.
Yeah, about that much.
Yeah. And funnily enough, he was in Newcastle recently. He'd been on a cycling holiday round Ireland.
Oh, Timmy Mallet.
Yes. So, half turnip, half cuttlefish, half Henry Hoover.
Oh, I know it is. Just take that off a minute because I want to do something.
Oh,
it's all right.
Ina Sharple's toy boy.
It's Ina Sharple's toy boy.
Good evening, Nick.
Good evening.
First one in, I claim my £5.
That's a first for you. You're usually a bit later normally, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I might well be in the next few weeks or so because the daughter's table tennis season starts.
Oh, are you you're the designated driver?
I'm the designated bloody childminder.
Oh, that's what grandparents is for, isn't it?
Well,
well, when we saw your entries, Nick, we weren't shocked.
Well, one of them I think is a big contender.
I would say
One
so
of
as
them,
well.
I think is a big contender. What was the third one I picked?
Eaton Rifles.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all back after our school holidays. Evening, Mike.
Yeah, cars won't get fooled again and Eaton Rifles.
Yeah, well, I think the second one could be a big contender.
If it gets in the draw again.
Right, so
yeah,
how do you want us to put these entries in then, Ian?
You've got to do it. You go to the launch video.
Yeah.
And put your one you want to put in as your thing, and then your second one is to if we need to make up, and a third one just in case someone's picked yours. So we've got. So it's in order. You one that you definitely want to be in the competitions first. Then you got your one that your second one and third.
Right. Okay. I might do that now while we're.
If you want, I can show this. Bob on. There's the current entries. So we got Richard has put in Wuthering Heights. His secondary is Life on Mars, and his third is Stand and Deliver. Charles has put in The Stone Roses. I want to be adored. Magnum on A Storyteller's Night, and Suede We Are the Pigs. David Hunt's put in Imagine, No Woman, No Cry, and Our Friends Electric. I think 3 good contenders there. Pulsar's put in Black Knight, Love Reign Over Me, and Silver Machine by Hawkwind. Mick has put in We're an American Band, Satisfaction, Don't Fear the Reaper. Nick, as you said, Cars, Don't Get Fooled Again, Eaton Rifles, and Braces, who's a new entry. Good evening and welcome to the competition. He's put in Smells Like Teen Spirit, Heroes, and Vienna.
Ah, hey, that was a surprise.
Was Love Reign Over Me actually released as a single?
Yes. It was released as a single, believe it or not. I went and checked that, but yes, it's correct.
I didn't know that.
No. As long as it's released as a single, and while we say it doesn't matter if it's in Japan, India, America, as long as it's got a release as a single somewhere, it's goes in as a single.
Or Wolfenstein.
The link for the show, the launch thing. So if you want to go and put your nominees in, we're not taking them in here, like I said before, because it's just, we could miss them. So that's why it's not. We're going to do it on here.
So
was it released over here as a single?
We're going to have a look.
I'll have to get hold of that. Saves me pulling out the album every time I want to hear it, or putting a CD on. It's a brilliant song, anyway.
Yeah. They did it at Live Aid, and it was.
Did they?
Yeah. Then my generation, it all cut out, but when they did Love Ran Over Me, it was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic version. Anyway, how did you chaps find your homework?
Ooh,
It was a doddle.
It was all right, really.
Yeah, I
you know what? I don't see that as released in the UK.
No, I don't think it was released in the UK.
No, it was released in the US.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've just put mine in, Dave.
Aha! Right, I can refresh.
Oh, this will be interesting. You're going to try and get out of the first round this time?
Probably will.
Oh, right, okay.
As Dave is doing this live, so we'll know what he's doing. So there we go. Darren, you can always rely on Darren. At least but not the I changed. Okay. No,
don't change it. Don't change it, Tom.
It was a 45 in Canada, USA, and the Netherlands. Thank you, Darren. A man of knowledge. What a waste. Virginia Plain.
Yeah. Stop doing that. You distracted me. It's perfect day. Right. Okay.
There's some good choices there, Mike.
Thank you. Yeah.
What's he put up? I ain't got my glasses.
Ian Jury, what a waste.
Oh, there you go. There's a bloody winner.
Roxy Music, Virginia Plain, and Saints, This Perfect Day.
All Saints?
No, the Saints.
No, the
Australian
Saints.
punks.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey.
The B-side of Love Ran Over Me was Is It In My Head?
That's a good song and all.
Yeah. Simon's got one in mind. You just got to find 3, mate. We've got to find another 2.
Well, it all depends. It all depends. The US version was the B-side was Water. Is It In My Head was the B-side in Belgium and the Netherlands.
Well, that's the one I'll have to get.
Yeah, Paul Sar was right.
Is it?
Sharing that for the moment.
Would it be the full album version?
Evening, Christopher.
I know you love Dream Theater. Anyway, I want to get rid of my presentation because it's taking up a space. So I'm going to go first because the person that set it is there as well. So Jason put in William Orbit and I picked it. So here is my little presentation on there.
Well, if I add at the stage, there it is.
Right, I've just got to do one more thing. Because yours truly forgot to do something.
There we go. Technical brilliance.
I know all this technical brilliance, and I cock it up. I've had to get so much out tonight of my computer. I forgot to put this one out. So just bear with me a minute, folks. The dog ate it.
Does anyone want a sneak peek of slide 2?
That's it. I've got me notes. That's the main thing. Right, let's put that up there. So, I just got to. Oh god, I've got to do something else now. Ah! I've really cocked this up, folks. First
Really?
night back, I've really made a boo-boo here.
Oh,
We can't tell, mate.
No, that's all right. So if we do that, don't do that's it. That's it.
At this rate, I'll be opening another bottle of Double.
No, you won't.
It's nearly my bedtime.
Well, I've had to do a sort of a swap over on my system because it was not playing on one system. So right, let's go to that and do that. Hey, I'm cooking on gas.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
we're on electric.
Yes. Anyway, I picked William Orbit, and Jason said, "Why don't listen to the Strange Cargo?" So I found, is it 4 albums that come under the Strange Cargo thing? Was I right there, Jason?
There's actually 5, but yeah.
I found 4. Couldn't find.
Okay.
So I've got the first one, which came out in 1987. Now, I'm not a great lover of William Orbit, I must admit. I did find it a little bit all the same, but there are 1 or 2 tracks on that first album, that first Strange Cargo, that I really liked.
Hmm.
I like the Via Calad, which is a very short piece, but it's got a Latino feel to it, and I really got
Yeah.
into that. I mean, because I love Latino music, so I really like that.
Yeah.
But my favourite one off that first album was Out of the Ice. Again, it's because it's got some guitar in it. It's got a bit more soul in it. It's got the others. I think they just lack a little bit of
Oomph.
oomph. Yeah, they haven't got
Yeah,
any beat in
okay.
them. They're just. Oh no! How many tracks am I in? You know, they all seem to mingle into ever. There's nothing.
It's quite chilled music.
Yeah. I didn't mind riding to Rio again because it was a bit more, you know, you felt like you was on a donkey riding into Rio on a thing. Jimmy's Jag was absolutely shocking. I thought it was the biggest load of rubbish I'd ever heard.
Okay.
Theme Dream isn't bad, it was pleasant. So that's what I thought of the first album. So I thought, let's go on to the second album. And I didn't like it at all.
No?
It's just noises, sequencing, no melodies. It just did nothing for me. I listened to it 3 times and then gave up. So that's the cover for it. So we go on to the Strange Cargo 3. Again, it's just got the singing. I think this would have been a better album if they weren't no one who's singing on it, because the music is really good, really well put together, and I always felt a little bit disappointed on that one.
Fair enough.
And then Hinterland, I'd say this is the least favourite of my albums. I did like some of the sequencing in El Ninjo. I thought that was pretty good. Crimes of the Future. But the role of it was all the same. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, fair enough.
And but on a positive note, as much as I don't like William Orbit, I think he's what he does is that he does take these modern dance sounds and he does do some good work with them. He knows what he's doing. I mean, I love the mixing he did and producing he did on Ray of Light by Madonna.
Yeah.
But It was an experience, but I do appreciate what William does in his genre, and I
Yeah.
think he may be one of the best at it. He's one of the best dancey producers, engineers, whatever you want to call him, in the business.
Yeah.
So it was an experience, but it's a no from me.
Fair enough.
But thank you for that thing. It was really interesting. So yes, thank you very much.
Fair
we
play.
doing marks out of 10 and that?
Yeah, I'm going to marks out of 10. I'm going to give him, purely on his technical thing, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 because although I don't like the music, I did appreciate what he does. So respect to William Orbit.
Fair play.
Afternoon, Pete and Mike.
So there we go.
Cool.
I think I can get rid of that one.
Want it removed? There it goes.
Well, mate.
There we go. That was it. It was an experience, I must admit. Thank you.
Yes. Well done.
Yeah. Has anybody
Mike,
picked
you're
up
on,
on my... Sorry.
Hang on, Mike. Your mic's off.
Is he?
Yeah, hang on.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
Mike,
Yeah, I can see him.
there we go. Yeah,
All
hi,
present,
Jenny.
correct? Yeah.
I did see you come in, but I was too busy giving my thing. So, yeah.
Mhm.
So, shall we?
You were asking something, Jason?
Yeah, I've completely forgotten now. Sorry. Oh no, my thingy. Did anybody get the reference to my bit on my name?
Shock-a-doobie.
No.
No.
I've heard it.
Does anybody remember the Kinder advert with the Humpty Dumpty on it?
Oh, Shock-a-doobie.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, vaguely. Yeah.
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 Messed up advert.
Completely gone past, mate.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to say now, I want to hear what Dave thought of the one I said.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Cats and Jammer. Well, I made.
That's all right, Jen. I did see you come in. I am a bloke that can multitask.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Besides,
So, Cats and Jammer, Norwegian 4-girl group. They met at music school. They met, I think it was 2004. The band was formed 2007, and they broke up, unfortunately, in 2015. So they've only produced 3 albums. Le Pop. I listened to it and I went, what the beep? I go and listen to it again. And the more I listened to it, the more I liked it. And the more I got into it. How can I describe it? It's a mixture of pop, French cabaret, dark cabaret, can, country music, bluegrass. At times, they sound like a circus band that's gone mad.
yeah.
To give you an example, one of the songs, Tea with Cinnamon, it starts off with a calliope. Calliope, what the hell's that? It's the old steam organ that sounds like a whistle. Various tuneful whistles, and it sort of goes along with a little dire pace and then stops. And all of a sudden, you get this song, Tea with Cinnamon, which is boppy poppy. Oh, okay. I'm enjoying this. And it comes to an end, and you get the calliope again, the dire dirge bit. The 4 girls play a mixture between them of 15 different instruments, one of which is a super bass balalaika. It's huge. It's as big as one of the girls. Huge big triangle, and it's got the face of the Cheshire Cat on it. It looked massive. How the hell she could play it, I do not know. But the music that they coax out of these instruments, the thing is, they swap around. So one girl will start on one instrument, and she'll swap to another. That another one is then takes over her. They just move around the stage and swap over. It's crazy, but it's so much fun. I thought, okay, right, I'm enjoying this. Okay, I'll go and I'll listen to the second one. The second album is A Kiss Before You Go. And it's a never-ending shapeshift. Now, I thought, I've got to go and read, having listened to it, I thought, I've got to go and read what other people have said about this. And Misha Perlman from the BBC, she called the album peculiar and unconventional because it constantly shapeshifts and surprises, but does so with a graceful, effortless ease that feels incredibly natural and utterly delightful. And I thought, that's got it down to a T. It's brilliant. But then Hugo Montgomery in the Independent, he said it's oompa brass and jaunty jig were best in small doses. But he also described the album as exhilarating and nauseous. So it's brilliant and sickening. And it is. The eclectic mix of styles and music, it does. 1 minute you're lifted up, the next minute you drop down. Ben Weiss in Music OHM wrote that Cats and Jammer's latest effort is often raucous, occasionally majestic, and close to brilliance. I have to agree with that. This group of 4 ladies, still at music school at the time, they've come up with some combinations that are wonderful, outstanding, and yet controversial. Some of their stuff, it's country folk, cabaret rock. And whenever they wrote this, some of it was written while they were in the States, in Nashville. So you can hear the country influence in the music. Oh, okay, right. I don't like it as much as Le Pop, but okay, I can live with this. So I went and listened to the third album, Rockland. And it again, there's stuff written while they were in Nashville. There's a lot of country sort of bluegrass influences in it. One of the songs was released as a single, it's Lady Grey. But on the album, the song before that is called Oh My God. And it's almost like a rap. It's almost, in a way, it's almost like Telly Savalas speaking over music, except they do it with more flair. It's a lot easier to listen to. I could quite happily go back. I've listened to Le Pop 3 times this week alone. Driving down to the gym, I've had it on my phone and I've been listening to it in the car and I've just been enjoying it. And in the gym itself, on the treadmill, listening to a couple of the songs, especially Tea with Cinnamon, I'm just bopping along, enjoying myself. People are looking at me going, what's he smiling at? What's he chortling at? They're a fun group. I would recommend anybody go and listen to them. And
That's
especially, Cats and Jammer. And take note of Le Pop, their first album. They're absolutely brilliant. Out of 10? 8.5, I'd say.
Ooh.
Well done.
I really, really enjoyed them. And I'm only sorry that the 4 girls, I forgot to give you their names there. Anne-Marit Bergheim, Marianne Sveen, Solveig Heilo, and Turgid Jorgensen. And it was Marianne Sveen who decided apparently she had told the band that she wanted to leave after 10 years, which it was announced in January 2015, and later in the year it was announced publicly that she was leaving the band, and they're on an extended hiatus. I don't know if they're going to get back together again, because it's 9 years since they broke up. I'd love them to get back together again, because the music they produced was just, it was full of life, and I loved every minute of listening to it. Some more than others, but anyway, that's my take on Katzenjammer. Well recommended.
What's that, mate?
La Pop is my favourite Katzenjammer album.
They
Sorry,
are.
what was that, Ian?
La Pop, Katzenjammer.
Oh, right, yeah. Dave's made me want to go out and listen to them now.
I think you may like them. I think you will, Mike.
I think you will. I'm positive.
I'm going to have a listen anyway. I'll have a listen this week, and I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah. Anyway, I think who's going to do you want to go next, Jason? Because the person that is the man that we need to convince here, you know, he's watching.
I'm getting ready to wag my finger.
Oh right, okay. No, I think I've been fair on it.
Yeah, that's all you do. All you can do is give an opinion, isn't it?
Yep. Okay. Anyway, ready when you are.
Right, I'll make you big. There you go. It's all yours.
There you go, and you can actually see me now with a name obscure in my mouth. Right, yeah. So I listened to 4 albums. I've sort of done one, try to do one from every decade, but I would have had to done 5 then. So anyway, you'll see. So the first one I did was The Fury. That came out in 1985, I believe. Nick will correct me if I'm wrong on this. So most of the album, it sounded like it was trying to be a bit more dancey than some of his other stuff, right? And they all sounded a bit sort of similar, with like the beats and stuff and the backing vocals. Although I did like some of the backing vocals. The tracks that stood out to me were Tricks, which was, I would have said very dancey. It's a little bit funky maybe, right? And there's some nice brass instruments in there, which is different from him. I hadn't heard him use brass like that before. So I like that. God Only Knows, yeah. A bit more of what I expected from him is what I call typical Gary Newman style. It's his usual sort of like, would you sound right in saying it's quite slow and brooding at times? I don't know what you're thinking that, but yeah, I thought it was quite good. That's probably my favourite track on the album with that one. And then I Still Remember, which had a sax solo, and it was kind of a bit Lounge Lizard style thing. It's like they got Kenny G involved or something.
I like that.
Right, yeah, but it's that sort of like smooth jazz, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The backing vocals on that one I thought were a bit annoying. I don't think they were necessary, but yeah, there's some good tracks on there. I gave that album, I'll give an overall ranking altogether. So I gave that ranking 6 out of 10. Then I went on to Exile from 1997. It still sounded quite 80s on this album, I thought. I mean, that's what he's known for, so that's fair enough. But I thought he would have sort of evolved a bit more at that point. Anyway, the main track that I liked on that was only one that really stood out for me, and that was Dark. It's a bit plodding, right? And you've got some, like, the sort of dancey beats to it. But that did improve the tune for me. I think without those beats, it might not work so well. The only thing is, I thought it was a tad repetitive. And the album in general, I thought it was a bit samey. One track seemed to flow into another. Now, whether that was his intent or not, because I know you do get bands that do that on certain albums. I don't know, but yeah, it was okay, but I probably wouldn't bother listening to it again. Sorry, what's the name? All right, okay. So yeah, then the next one was Dead Sun Rising, which came out in 2011. Right. The tracks I liked on this one was sorry, the last album. Yeah, the last album I gave 3 out of 10. By the way, I didn't think it was that great. Yeah, Dead Sun Rising was the next one, 2011. And the tracks I liked was Big Noise Transmission. Yeah, quite heavy for Gary Newman, I thought. And it was sort of like bit sort of industrial sounding to it, and you sort of like a bits of 9 Inch Nails and early Prodigy stuff, if you can imagine such a thing. Yeah, it was pretty good. I did quite like that one. Rest of My Life, again, it's a bit sort of dark and brooding, but I think that's sort of semi what he's known for. But it reminded me a little bit of his earlier sort of Tubeway Army stuff, right? Sort of back to basics, I suppose, in a way. And he had some of those long-held notes that he's known for, like he did in Cars. Just a note that goes on for a while and then progresses to another note and so on. Then we did, what was after that? Oh, Not the Love We Dream Of. Really piano heavy, this one. And I did quite like it. Very softly spoken. Although you can hear it's him, his vocals are quite different to him. It's not his usual style. So, yeah, it was good. Right? Little bit dirgy and a bit gloomy, but again, that's sort of what he's known for. And that one I gave 5 out of 10. And then the final one was Intruder, which came out in 2021. Now, this one, what I've put down is it got a mix of 80s styles, right? And it's going to make possibly he's either going to laugh or he's going to want to smack me one. It's sounded a little bit like he's got like a Bontempi organ in some of it. If anybody remembers those, one of those really cheap 80s Casio little keyboard things you used to be able to get. But he's trying different sounds, so fair play. And the tracks I liked on this one is I Am Screaming. Yeah, really, really heavy bass on this one. But it's got that classic Newman style to it, and then this sort of thing, he's going back to his early stuff and taking influences from that. Then there's Black Sun, which has got a really, really nice piano effect in there. And it's quite slow at the beginning, but then it picks up a bit. And when the beats start coming in, and it made me like the tune more. And then this song, man. The End of Dragons. I love this tune. Right? It's the sort of song you would expect. When it starts off, it sounds like something like an 80s goth club style song. Right? Quite sort of, dark and that. But then it's got some really, really nice piano, and they're really, really good. And it's got, if anybody remembers The Beloved, or Beloved, right? The Sun Is Rising and all that sort of thing. It's got that kind of style of singing to it. Really, really pleasant, right? And, oh yeah, that's probably, out of all the songs I've listened to, that's probably my favourite. Really, really good song. And yeah, that again, that album, if it hadn't been for a couple of weak songs, I would have rated this higher, and I gave it a 7 out of 10. So I think overall for Gary Newman, I'd probably say 6.5 out of 10.
Oh.
His teacher going to wag his finger now.
Oh dear.
Oh, shaky fist.
Yeah.
No, I think Intruder's probably one of his best albums for years. I don't know what you think, Nick.
The one before that, Savage.
Oh, that's even better, isn't it?
Yeah, his daughter,
I mean,
one of
I
his
just
daughters sings on that.
Yeah, oh, yes. I've seen a
Good
clip
night, Simon.
on stage with his daughters singing.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it seems
No,
like
very. It was honest. Very, very well done. You know.
Yeah. Was it fair? Was I fair in my?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
all right then.
Yeah, it's your opinion, mate. Your
every
opinion
is fair.
That's all that counts.
But no, that End of Dragons is brilliant. I love that song. Really do enjoy that. If that came out in single, I think it did. I'll try and grab a copy because I really did like it.
Yeah. No.
I mean, this is what Ian and I keep saying. People coming on and saying, "Oh, but you didn't like this. I'm not going to follow you." Or why didn't you rank this as number one? It's subjective. Everybody has their own opinion, their own viewpoint.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had that this when I put up Led Zeppelin 4. Someone said, because I only gave Stairway to Heaven 4 stars. And
I'm dreading to say what Nick's going to say about the VMs though. I just say it's the drizzling shit.
Yeah. But he said, and then someone said, someone else thinks that Stairway isn't the be all and end all.
No,
I absolutely hate that song. I detest it. It's the biggest pile of sugary crap I've ever heard.
I think a lot
overplayed, but
it's overplayed.
Yeah.
And then someone said, if you gave Misty Mountain Up 5, you should have given Stairway 5.
We used to have a guitar shop in Southampton, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry, they'd pick up a guitar and start playing that bloody song over and over again every time you went in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my reply to this guy was, and I went, you know, it's as Mike says, it's overplayed. If I never hear it again, I wouldn't lose sleep over it.
I'll be totally honest with you. I prefer the Rolf Harris version. I honestly do.
The wobble board makes it.
Yeah. I know. Well,
it
it raises a whole, a whole new box of tricks and questions, as to what's gone on. But I loved that song when I first heard it. I've got it on CD and 7-inch single.
This is it. Never mind what has happened. The music. I mean, we avoid talking about certain things, certain people, but the music that they have created is there. It's going to be there for all time. It can't be taken back. It can't be erased from history.
No, exactly.
Go and listen to it and enjoy it.
Yeah, none of them have come up on a top 10 yet, but when they do, they will be. If it's a number one, it'll get told. And at number one this week was.
Yeah. We have. We've had Gary Glitter.
Yeah, I mean,
Gary Glitter was one, and it was mentioned.
Well, yeah, because as you say, it exists, doesn't it?
Yeah, it exists. It's history. It was on TV. You can find it on YouTube. You can't airbrush everything.
Yeah. Do you want to be in my gang? Not anymore, Gary.
No.
Exactly. I mean, you'd be like the BBC if you're going to censor the stuff. It's like Frankie Goes to Hollywood. They wouldn't mention them, would they?
No.
But that made them. That gave them the number one. The fact that
it didn't say, yeah.
That was down to Mike Reid.
Yeah, he banned it, and he wanted it banned.
talking of Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Holly Johnson's on tour doing a 40th anniversary of Welcome to the Pleasure Dome.
Is he?
So that could be interesting. Yeah,
Oh,
there's only
yeah.
5. I think it's only 5 gigs, but you know,
He hasn't been well, I believe.
No, I saw him on an interview he was being interviewed by Ken Bruce, and he didn't look
That's right, yeah.
he didn't look well, but in himself and his how he was on form. He was,
yeah,
He was, wasn't he? Yeah.
yeah, he looks an ill man, but he's still got his sense of humour and fair play to him.
yeah.
And I mean, talking like that this week, Bob Catley of Magnum, he's doing some shows celebrating Tony Clarkin's life, and he says
Fair play.
he wants to go out and celebrate him and play them. He wants to go and play them great songs that he wrote, which is great to hear for Bob, because Bob, when he died, he was absolutely devastated. He didn't even want what he wanted to do, but he wants to go out and play these songs. So fair play to him. So that's something. Hello, Michael. You came. You went. You came.
I had some technical difficulties with my thingamabob.
All right.
Yes, it's terrible when you get technicals with your thingamabob, isn't it? It just
Yeah.
Right, I've got dates for you, Jason.
Oh yeah.
2025. 6th
Yes.
of June is in Birmingham. The 9th of June is in London at the Royal Albert Hall. The 12th of June is in Bath at the Forum. The 15th of June is in Newcastle O2. The 18th of June is in Glasgow. And the 21st of June is at Liverpool, the M&S Bank Arena.
Cool. I don't know if I will go, because it's trying to find somebody these days who still wants to go to gigs, and most of my mates don't. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
really
no,
fancy
the
traveling up
thing-
there on my own.
Yeah, no, the thing I saw was an article. The BBC admitted that whenever Holly announced that he was HIV, he got cancelled by the BBC. They wouldn't have him
Yes.
on. They wouldn't play his music.
Yeah, shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he praised Bowie for reaching out and working with him.
Fair play.
yeah, it's a bit
Mm.
yeah, with what else the BBC promotes, but
Oh, they're bastards, the BBC.
Yeah. Anyway,
Right.
good evening. Ohio gozaimasu.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening.
Good
Hello.
evening.
Sorry, Mike, I didn't see you coming. I wasn't watching the screen.
Rather early here, but I'm used to this. I'm used to the drill, and actually, I am an early riser by.
an early rider, eh?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Are you a hog?
I get the joke now.
Yes, there's a bit of carry on innuendo.
Yeah.
It's our British humour.
Oh, Matron, take them away.
Anyway, I would
Yes.
like to hear what Mike thought of his homework next.
Okay, yeah, now Michael's here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
that's why I was waiting, you see.
Yeah. Right, okay then.
So here we go.
Simon's had to go early, so we're not going to get the Sleaford mods.
Oh,
Well, we
that's a
can
shame.
talk about it.
that's a
See,
shame.
we can talk about it. If he does his stream tomorrow, I'll see if I'll get him to talk about it tomorrow.
No, fair.
Right. Okay. Anyway, I'm talking about Bloodwind Pig.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know much about them because, I mean, in their sort of original incarnation, they were really short-lived. I mean, they started, their first album was 1969, their second album was 1970. And then that was it until 1993. And, for me and my mates, music, we really started listening to music seriously around about sort of late 71, 72, I'd imagine. So they kind of passed me by, and not the sort of genre that I was really listening to. Anyway, so what I've done is I've listened to the first two albums, and I'll tell you what I think. So this is a band. It was formed by a vocalist and guitarist, a guy called Mick Abrahams, and he was in Jethro Tull for the first album until he fell out with Ian Anderson and had to go and form his own band. So he formed Bloodwind Pig, and the other members of the band are Jack Lancaster on sax and flute, and I'll talk about him a bit more later on. Andy Pyle played the bass, and Ron Berg, who played the drums. And when I saw the name Ron Berg, it sounded like a made-up name, sort of, maybe one of the drummers in Spinal Tap or something, But no, he's a real person. Yeah. Anyway, first album, A Head Rings Out, got to number 9 in the UK charts in 1969. And before I listened to it, I thought this is going to be pretty sort of like bog standard blues rock. So I listened to the first track called It's Only Love, and sure enough, it's pretty much sort of bog standard blues rock. And I thought, oh no, I'm not going to have to listen to the whole album, am I? But things change as the album goes on. So second track is it's another bluesy track. It's much slower. It's called Dear Jill, and it sort of sounds like the sort of thing that might be played in a sort of smoky bar late at night. And I really like it. I think it's a really, really good sort of blues rock tune. Then third track, Sing Me a Song That I Know, it's called. And
Go on then.
Yeah, I'll do that later. So I sing Midnight at the Oasis. That was mentioned earlier. So it starts off with some really, really serious drumming. And then it goes into sort of Jack Lancaster and his saxophone. And I really, really like this track. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And, it goes on from there. Fourth track, which was written by Jack Lancaster. And, there was a theme running through this as I was listening to these two albums. The tracks that I really liked were the ones that Jack Lancaster was most involved in. And anyway, he wrote the fourth track. It's called The Modern Alchemist. And it's jazz rock, really. And it's a great track, Pulsar, Dear Jill. I think it's brilliant. You get that saxophone again, and really, really, really nice track. Then you've got fifth track, Up and Coming, and that's very, very much sort of blues rock, but it's very sort of laid back, and I quite like that. Quite like that. Then sixth track, it's a Jack Lancaster composition again, and it's called Leave It With Me, and it's sort of progressive jazz, and it's got a sort of it reminds me of sort of Canterbury scene, really. And but on this, Jack Lancaster sort of he's playing the flute, so again, I mean, if you know Bobby Humphrey, the jazz flautist, and her work, that it's got that feel to it as well. And as I say, that I really like that. I really like Jack Lancaster's sort of more sort of jazzy rock sort of tunes to the blues ones. Well, there's some pretty good blues on here as well. Track 7, the Change Song. Again, it's fair enough. It's a serviceable sort of tune. It's bluesy. Yeah, it's great. And then See My Way, the 8th track again, another pretty good blues track. And then it finishes off with Ain't You Coming Home, Babe? And this is a loud, noisy blues rock song, and it's really good. I really like that. It's a great way to finish the album. So I say, you know, it was their debut album, 1969, reached number 9, and as we're giving these rankings, I would give this a strong 8. I think strong 8 out of 10. I really quite enjoyed it.
I think I'm looking on stage, and Michael's going, yes, that's a fair one. He's
well, yeah.
I think you've got a thumbs up.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if I praise it, Michael will agree. Yeah. Anyway, the second album, 1970.
Before you go into the second one, what has an American? What attracted me so much to the record was his talking introductions on the songs, and you could barely understand what he's saying.
Right.
Do you remember those passages?
Yeah. So that's what you like best about it, is it?
It is. It's not what I like. It is one of the takeaways that I found to be that were the hooks for me, because I could barely understand. And the liner notes, I don't know, you probably didn't buy the record, so you didn't see the liner notes, but he wrote them. But his talking, I mean, I'm like, what is he saying? Because I know he's communicating to an audience that understands him. But for me, it was one step away from gibberish.
I don't know. I think it's just because you're an American and he's not, you know. But yeah. I mean, I think overall it's quite an experimental album.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I see Andy Gladwin would run a mile from progressive jazz. Yeah.
I interrupted you. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to get that point across about what your thoughts.
Yeah. No, that's fine, Michael. So if you just be quiet now, you know, we need muted mics. That's the way. That's the way to do these. Yeah. They eat pets in Springfield, by the way. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yes. with Worcestershire sauce.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, right. So if I get this album, which I might, I'll have to make sure I read the liner notes then.
Yes.
Anyway. Where am I? The second album called Get Into This, and it reached number 8, and in 1970 in the UK charts. And again, like the first album, starts off with a sort of pretty bog standard blues rock track called Drive Me, which, you know, it's pretty good. And then we've got the second track, Variations on Nanus, and this is quite sort of progressive jazz with a sort of hint of blues, I suppose. And yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Then you got what is it? See My Way, the third track, See My Way, a nice sort of blues track. And then you've got a very short track, just over a minute, the fourth track, and it's called Long Bomb Blues. And it's a country blues track.
Sorry, folks.
And yeah, what's going on?
That's wrong button again.
I don't know. Yeah, look. This is my time. So just
I don't apologise, Mike. That was a technical itch. I've got a very sensitive new mouse.
Is that euphemism?
Sorry.
Don't lose your concentration.
Yeah. Anyway. Where was I? Long Blonde Blues. Yeah, it's about a minute long, just over, and it's kind of country blues, and I quite like it. I think it's pretty good. Then fifth track, the Squirreling Must Go On, and yeah, it's quite a sort of like, you know, straightforward sort of rock song really, and I really like it. I really think it's great. Then you've got followed by an 8-minute track, and it's this is a Jack Lancaster one again, and it's It's called San Francisco Sketches, and it starts off with the sound of sort of the waves sort of like lapping against the. Stop it, Andy.
Hey!
Waves lapping on the beach, and so it's in four parts. It's 8-minute track in 4 parts, and the first one's called Beachscape, and it's pretty good stuff. And then you get into Fisherman's Wharf, which I don't think really sits very easily within the sort of like the other 3 tracks, but that make up this one thing. But it's all right. Telegraph Hill, and then what's the last one called? Yeah, Close the Door. Close the Door. I'm falling out of the room. That's what it's called. Can't read my own writing. And yeah, I mean overall, I mean it's 8 minutes long, and it's pretty decent sort of track, but it's just the sort of like this Fisherman's Wharf thing doesn't quite do it for me. Then we've got sort of a couple of sort of like rock tunes. Well, Worry is sort of again straightforward rock. I mean, they really sort of mix up the genres with this album, I think. Yes. And then you've got Toys, which is again blues rock, sort of pretty good stuff. And then there's a short track, and I don't know what to say about this. It's called To Razman, and it's written by the drummer, Ron Berg, and it's sung in a really diabolical fake West Indian accent. It's really, really awful.
And it's Van Dyke doing the accent.
It should not be there. But they kind of redeem it all with the final track, which is called Send Your Son to Die, and it's great sort of like rock, and it's brilliant. And this one, not quite as good as the debut, I think, but I'd give it about sort of 7.9. But as I say, when sort of Jack Lancaster is heavily involved in the tracks, they tend to be the best tracks. So I left it there. They kind of just finished abruptly, and I mean, considering they'd had 2 top 10 albums, it seems quite strange that everything just stopped at that point. I think Mick Abrahams went on to make loads and loads of solo albums, and then they got back together in 1993 with an album called Lies, which, to be honest, I haven't listened to. So I would give them a good solid sort of 8 out of 10. And the test really for me is if on Saturday I see a copy of either of those albums at the record fair, will I pick them up? Well, yeah, if they're at a reasonable price, I think I probably would. So there you go. So that's my take on Plod Twin Pig, folks.
Thank
you very much.
Hey.
So at the moment, I'm the only one that wasn't impressed with what I was listening to. I feel really bad. But I did praise him for his work, even though I didn't like it. So anyway, I would like to hear what Nick thinks of.
I want to hear from Ina Sharple's Toy Boy.
Yeah.
Has he been behaving himself?
Who Ina Sharples is? Michael, are you confused who Ina Sharples is?
I have no idea who Iain Sharp is. How do you? Is it
Ina Sharples? Now, Ina Sharples was a character on a soap called Coronation Street.
Is she hot?
She was a bad.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then it makes say no more.
Played brilliantly by Violet Carlson. She was brilliant.
Yeah.
If you consider a plastic bag full of boiling lava hot, then yeah.
Yeah.
She was about.
Wait. Jason, what? The fuck did you just say?
Boiling lava.
What? A little slower, please.
A plastic bag full of a boiling lava.
Thank you. Thank you. I understand it makes no sense, but thank you.
Anyway, on that, we will now go to Ian Sharple's Toy Boy and to find out what he thought of his pick. So this will be.
I'm gonna have to mute my mic, I think.
Oh, Mark's lost the plot. So we'll give it to Nick. Here you go, Nick. It's all
Ah, Nick. Go on, my son.
Can I firstly say that you've got to go into this thing with an open mind and be fair and square, and I believe I have been.
Yeah,
Okay.
good.
Considering what was on offer, I think I got away with it quite lightly. Yeah, so I was given the task of listening to the Virgin Marys. And I listened to 2 full albums and 1, 2, 3, 4 random songs, I called them.
Yeah.
I saw what Jason had recommended and took no notice whatsoever. I looked on Google. I looked at their discography and didn't really pay much attention to that. I picked the 2 albums I picked were actually the first and second. I didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
And I picked them because the album sleeves looked interesting.
Fair play.
The first album is called King of Conflict, and that's when they were a 3-piece band. They're currently a 2-piece.
Yep.
But then they were a 3-piece band, and it turns out they've had 4 members altogether over the years, as far as I can make out. So the first album, King of Conflict, it was all right. I must say first, their genre is rock, and it's and they're in this sort of void. I call it, but somewhere between heavy metal and new age metal. They're in that rock sort of void between that. The sort of thing you'd hear years ago on the Kerrang channel or the MTV type channel that plays the more heavier sort of stuff, like Linkin Park, that sort of stuff, you know. So yeah, King of Conflict. It was good. A lot of the tunes very samey, but the 2 I picked out was the opening track, which is called Dead Man's Shoes.
Yes.
Good strong opening track. And the other one that sort of tantalised my ears was a track called Just a Ride.
Good tune. Yeah.
Oh, we're doing all right so far then.
Yeah, no, you've picked some good ones, yeah.
Overall, not a bad album. A lot of it quite sort of samey.
Some people have said that, yeah.
Yeah. I'd perhaps give that a 6 out of 10.
Okay, cool.
The second album I listened to, well, actually, it was their second album, Divides, I believe it is.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks sort of got me interested. One of them was called Kill the Messenger.
Yep.
One of the others was called Moths to a Flame, which kind of reminded me a bit of Manic Street Preachers, If You
All right,
Tolerate This. I could hear a bit of that in there.
Yeah.
The third one was called Falling Down, which I thought might be a cover of the Iron Maiden song, but it wasn't. Motherless Land was a good tune with a decent video to go with it. And finally, from that album, a track called "Living in My Peace," which was
Sorry.
which was less angry than the other songs on the album.
Yeah.
They're quite angry. The lead singer is quite an angry singer, isn't he?
He can be, yeah.
Ali Dickety, his name is.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. I'd give that one a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
That album.
Yep.
I just want to say, the kind of, I get the feeling they're more popular in America and Europe than they are over here in Britain. It turns out that back in the day, they got into some sort of American chart, or the Heat Seeker US chart for breakthrough bands.
Yes.
And I think they reached the heady heights of number 8 with one of their albums. As opposed to here in Britain, I think their first album, I think it might have been, reached 93 over here. So, and from what else I've read, they're quite popular in Europe. So I get the feeling they're more user-friendly in America and Europe.
Yeah, I can't really say about that. I do know that nearly every gig they play, they sell out. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're a very small band, you know.
Well, when they started, apparently they put out a load of EPs.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Which all sold out.
Yes.
Anyway, I think they did some festival in America called South by Southwest, which didn't go down very well because they caught food poisoning.
Don't know about that one.
That's what I read, and I was reading more about them, and then it sort of got very political and stuff like that, and I thought, no, I ain't fucking reading that. Does my head in when bands start going off on that.
Fair enough.
The random songs I listened to, there was a track called The Meds.
Yes.
Which I quite enjoyed. Northwest Coast, which
that's
I think
the latest one.
Yeah, the video to that was filmed in Blackpool, I think.
Yeah.
And there was a rather nice lady with a wet t-shirt. There was a track called You're a Killer.
Yes.
And the video was quite bloody and violent.
Yeah.
There was another one which was called SUS for UNI.
I think that's one of the newer ones. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's when they were 2-piece, and the video was all right to that. It was more like it sort of had fire worshippers and fire eaters.
Yeah.
In it, and I was keeping my fingers crossed that one of them would trip up and the fire thing would go right down the throat, but it never happened. But would I go out and buy any of their stuff? At the minute, no, because it's not the sort of thing I'm into and listening. Though, if I saw them live, I might change my mind.
Yeah, they are a good live band.
It was because I'd seen the Soap Girls live, and they sort of hooked you.
Yeah.
I brought a couple of their CDs. If I was to see this band live,
yeah,
I might get hooked. But there is a
Yeah.
period in time years ago when I was watching a lot of MTV stuff and the Kerrang channel. I would have gone out and brought, their stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're not a bad band. You know, they're not a crap band. But if I was to give them an overall score, I'd say 7 out of 10.
Oh, that's fair play. Yeah, that's better than I thought you'd give him.
7 out of 10, yeah.
Oh, well done, mate. Yeah, thank you very much.
And there you go.
That's great. Someone else enjoyed their rabbit hole.
There is one track which you should listen to. Yeah, Looking Out for My Brothers, my favourite song we've ever done.
Yeah, I don't think Nick's going to go back and revisit it.
No,
I'll give it a try. But like I say, a lot of it was very samey.
When they first started, yes, definitely.
Yeah, a lot of it is very angry type music.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
if they were in the pub over at Northampton where me and Iain went, I'd go over and see them.
Yeah, I think I'd do the same. I mean, I've listened to a bit of everything what everyone else has been listening to anyway. Like I do.
Yeah.
What was that support band that was on before the Soap Girls?
Oh,
God, they were a Northampton band. I'd go and see them again.
It was quite sort of similar to them.
Yeah,
they were quite angry, weren't they? Angry sort of rock.
Yeah.
I'd go and see that band again.
It's
Frogger or something.
Something like that. Yeah, I'd go and see.
They have calmed down a bit in recent years because Danny, the drummer, used to beat the absolute piss out of his drums, so much so that his hands would be all carp and bloody after the gig.
He had a bit of a funny drumming style. He was in some of the videos I saw, he was quite sort of hunched over them and banging away.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, but they were all right.
Yeah.
At this time in my life, not exactly for me, but years ago they would have been.
Yeah, fair play, mate. I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Before we get Michael's report, I want to show him something.
Okay, but Iain, I have a question for you. Before you show me something, what did you pick? What was your draw on this?
I had William Orbit.
Who?
William Orbit.
And you had a negative reaction to William Orbit. I didn't see your presentation because I was still sleeping. But that's
I'm not into dance music, so
right.
But
yeah. I feel better now. Good. I'm feeling better now. Okay.
What I did, Michael, I did appreciate what he does.
Sure.
Yeah, I respect that.
Road.
This is for you, Michael.
Huh?
This is for you. This is Ina Sharples.
Oh.
Oh my
God. Oh my God. She looks like a man. Was she prettier when she was younger?
Yes, she was quite pretty as a young actress, but Violet Carson was a legend of an actress.
Is that a hairnet? Was that a hairnet?
Violet Carson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Swap to me.
Yeah, she needs a shave.
Oh. That's Elsie Tanner.
Yeah.
Elsie Tanner on the right. Violet Carson, Ina Sharples on the left in her trademark hairnet.
Yeah.
I mean, British Bulldog is the description.
I say, her and Nora Batty separated at birth.
Yeah, as Andy said, I told you she was hot.
Her face reminds me of Don Rickles. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Grimace?
Yeah, I'm Don Rick. I love Don Rickles.
And just to complete the picture, this one, because somebody said about that woman's tongue, if it was a bit longer, she could shave with it.
Wow.
Oh dear.
I love that somebody mocked up a second-class stamp with Iain Sharples on it.
Yeah.
Bless them.
Bless it.
Classic. Anyway, there you go.
Anyway, it's time for Michael's homework
Yes,
report.
yes.
And I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah,
I'm sure
me
you
too.
are.
David as well.
I don't know if you caught. Simon had a live stream last week that I was on, and Jason was on. Did you guys catch any of that?
I have watched it but I was out on celebrate. It was my late friend's birthday, so we decided to go out and have a Chinese and celebrate his birthday, his heavenly birthday. So I was too busy having beer and food.
So you didn't see my discussion with
No, I didn't.
Jason. No. Okay, good. So none of you did, right? Except Jason. Okay.
No, we
Well,
can go
Jason.
watch it.
No. You don't need to watch it. You don't need to, please don't. I kind of I'm always one to jump in on these challenges. I don't dilly dally. I get right to it. And I got right to Nightwish, and I went on to Simon's, and I went to Father Jason, who told me, Michael, you need to be firm yet fair, like James Mason, firm yet fair. And I thought to myself, we need to be respectful. And Dave, I have a couple of questions for you. Dave, have you ever seen me show any heavy metal on this channel? Yes or no?
Don't think so.
No, I can't remember.
Nope.
No,
And have you ever seen me like show any operatic or over the top performances of my or discussed me going to any shows of like over the top performances? Yes or no?
No.
Yeah. You've not done any of the Renata, so no.
No. So this is why you went down the rabbit hole.
This is why I went down. True. This is why I went down the rabbit hole. But I didn't go down. But it was tough for me. There is a food in Japan. It's called natto. Natto. And it is the most vile food known to man that anybody has discovered. But it's also the healthiest. And Japanese eat natto every day at breakfast. It has the smell of toe jam. Like
I love it. I know what natto is. It's fermented soybeans.
That's right. And it's slimy. I mean, every time I wash the dishes after breakfast, I had to wash my hands vigorously because I washed my wife's dish and she had eaten natto. They they mix a very spicy hot mustard in with it to suppress the vileness of the natto. I myself have never managed once to get it into my stomach. I went and I threw it up. And there's another story before I get to Nightwish, and I'll make this quick. I had just graduated from college and I needed money. I was living with my mother, and it was close to New Year's Eve. And I went to a help wanted agency called Manpower. And they said, Michael, we have a job for you. It's just a couple of nights. You'll be a security guard at the brand new office tower in Stamford, Connecticut. And I went and I showed up, and it was just one guy, and he gives me this like drab brown uniform. And I put it on. You don't get a gun. You just get, I don't even think I had a nameplate. I felt uncomfortable from the very minute I put it on. And it was orientation time, and he said, here, when this guy walks in the door, you have to say hello. When this guy walks in the door, you ignore him. If this happens, you do this, you do this. And I started to get dizzy because I didn't want to be there at all. It was the worst experience of my life. It was. I hate this experience. Americans use this word. I'm going to use it one time. after 10 minutes, I looked at him and I said, "Excuse me." He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Look, tomorrow when you wake up, you're really not gonna remember this. I mean, in the next 10 minutes, you're gonna be a little bit upset, but I'm leaving now, and I'm not coming back." And I walked out the door and I left. I went home. And the next day, the manpower guy called me and said, "Like, well, what the hell? What did you do?" And I couldn't do the job. Which brings me to Nightwish.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Now, you're not going to be kidding. This is my report, okay? I did not go through their songs and check them off, okay? I decided to look at their concert performances of the songs because listening to the songs of the records was just, I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
and so the performances made it kind of what I thought it would be easier for me. But the music was like a mix of like Kansas meets Metallica meets Procol Harum and the Symphony Orchestra, and the female singers were just the way that they smiled at the crowd and the kind of worshiping of the crowd. It was like, that was unbelievable. But if you saw I should have taken a video of me, just of my face as I'm listening to the music, because there was actually nothing that I could parse out from the music that I liked at all. I had a visceral negative reaction to it. I thought everything about it I disliked, and from like the way that the performers interacted with each other. I mean, if anything, I like the tailoring of the brunettes' stage costume. You know, kind of like it was. I almost wanted to show my wife, because she's a fashion designer, kind of like this captain's garb, you know, like Jack Sparrow, you know. And I was kind of wondering, why does she wear clothing like that? And then I realized she's a little heavyweight, so the clothing kind of covered up her weight. And both women, it's like you guys said, you know, like, what's the difference? Like, the vocalist changed, and I didn't see any difference between. I could not discern any difference between the vocalist or the music itself. It was like I had to listen to one record, but I'll tell you, all three records sounded exactly the same, and all the songs on the record sounded exactly the same. And I'm like, what happened? I mean, I didn't want to insult Dave, you know. I mean, he probably really likes this music, but, and I realized that he and I have never had a conversation about music, and what am I going to do? I mean, I did not go through this with the check mark. Yeah, I don't even want my rating gets a rate. It didn't even make it to the rating, because every time I watched it, it was painful for me. You know, like it was like I thought you hated me. It was torture. It was absolute torture. And maybe I should have done it differently, you know. Maybe I should have done it. I tried a little bit each day, but it was like natto, and that's why I brought it up as an example. And I'm done now.
No. That's fine. You gave it a go. Thank you. Thank you. Honest, not everybody likes Nightwish. I appreciate it.
It's a quiet taste, but thank you guys.
Yeah.
What is that?
I would suggest.
It was so over the top in terms of production. Oh, he's a Nightwish fan.
They got a new album coming out as well, haven't they? Yes, the Wind.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you, Mike.
I would suggest 2 cellos.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, would you like to do another one of these at a later date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I promise Nightwish won't be on the list.
I wonder what's happening when I watch the playback of this.
I only know one Nightwish song, and that's Nemo.
Yeah, that's a great song. That is.
Yeah, that's the Tigers, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. There's Nemo. There's Amaranth. I haven't heard a single boy Floor yet.
No, I think that I'm sure there's one out. There's the new albums out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yes, the Wind's coming out to be something like that. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anybody buy some new records?
Yeah.
No, I did get some old records though. I did buy Van Halen's debut album.
That's supposed to be very good.
It's good. Anyway, I'm gonna now put up.
Yeah.
We're gonna see what we got. Rocky's back on telling us what we've got to go and.
Okay. I'm out of the doghouse, am I?
So this week we have got on the wheel. We have got Corkers and Clunkers, compilation albums, Chilling Out, Transitions, Fish's Gaff, instrumentals, greatest hits, and favourite covers. So here we go. What are we going to cover next week?
What is that?
Oh, compilation albums.
Now, this is not greatest hits albums. These are those albums where, like Top of the Pops albums and them sort of albums.
What do you do if you don't own any?
Wing
and
it.
this is Michael. You've got
Spotify.
a wonderful imagination.
I do. Okay. I do have some compilations. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So find all them great them compilation albums that you've.
Yes, I will do that. Yes. Soundtracks or compilation albums.
Yes, that will count them as well.
Yes,
very good. Thank you.
So that's what we'll be talking about next week.
Okay. Swell Ups.
Andy, I didn't know Swell Ups were playing on Saturday.
There we go.
Yeah.
Can I give a little report, real quick? I think you'll appreciate this after the Nightwish debacle.
Okay.
I'll make this real quick. The other thing, you're probably wondering, we had 2 weeks, and I barely, spent much time on Nightwish, but I went to a record store and I'm working on the video that is the most fantastic place I've ever been to for the amount of British titles that they have there. And they had indie, just to give you an idea of the indie selection that they had. Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay. Alfie, Autopop, Andy White, add N2X, Aztec Camera, Black, Beatnik Film Stars, should I go on? The Bachelor Pad, the Bardos, that's just the B's. The Beat Up, Bobby Valentine, Half Man, Half Biscuit, Genius, the Hollow Men in Spiral Carpets, the Clint Boone Experience, the Lotus Eaters. Okay, this store basically had first pressings, all UK. They had multiple 45s. The Gary Newman section, you're gonna die when you see it. Now, it's right now the video is like 30 minutes long, and I really do have to hone it down because I am like, I give 2 seconds to each jacket, okay? But I will tell you that they had signed copies of records. The owner, their specialty is British music. And what I did as I was editing is I listened to a lot of the music. And I realized that so much of it never made it to the States, and so much copying, and there's so many derivatives. And I realized that like the music industry only let a few of these artists escape to make it, and the rest just had to wallow in obscurity. But the bands pressed on. It was really fascinating. I really, because you guys have been showing these records for a couple of years now, and I've been watching them on this channel, and I'm like, okay, it's just music that I don't know, but I listened to a lot of it, and that was kind of like my way of getting over the Nightwish challenges is as I was editing this music. So I just want to tell you, and Yesterday, I was in a record store. Look what I got. Look what I got. Who's that? That is Kevin Coyne. Okay. I know you guys have mentioned this Kevin Coyne and Dagner Krause. Look at that. Look what I bought.
Hey.
Okay.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and the first 30 seconds, the sing was just magnificent. I couldn't believe it. It really resonated with me. And that's me. There's no, if it clicks, it clicks. And I also got this. I mean, this was 500 yen. I have nothing of him, after Dexys. It's quite good. It's quite good. It's got a magazine inside of his day and interviews. Look at that. Oh, that's special. And then of course I went back to my roots, and I picked up this. I got this 10-wheel drive with Genya Ravan, and of course I'm still a 1969 boy, but the British stuff is I'm appreciating it. So I just wanted to let you know that.
That's great. Anyway, talking about Half and Half Biscuit, I'm ranking their albums next Wednesday.
Oh.
Yes. So if you want to learn about some great indie and British culture, that is the one for you. Anyway.
I'd actually like to preview it to one of you, maybe offline.
Okay. Anyway, it's time to do a thumbnail if you've got an album to hand.
Yeah, what are we going to do? There's no theme here.
I'm holding up that one because I'm, as you can see on there is a certain Herbie Flowers.
I haven't got one, so I'll hold up this bag of cheese and onion crisp.
That's
very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Guys.
So I'm going
3, 2, 1. There you go.
Yeah, just to say
very good. Okay.
Anyway, it's lovely to see you all back. Thanks for everyone to join, and thank you for everyone that's been watching the super little shorts that I put out again.
Yes.
Some more magnificent editing and all that sort of thing. We'll be back here next week, as ever.
By the way, the numbers haven't changed since the last post.
Okay, I need to go and shut that down. We'll do that in a minute. So we'll see you all next week. Tatty, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.